Hello and welcome. I am Chychy Chukwu on Leading Perspective. Today we're talking about women and governance. And we have been speaking with a presidential aspirant on the PDP political platform, Princess Professor Fumilayo Mercy Adesoya Davis. And she will be sharing with you on her agenda for the new Nigeria. She will be speaking on the state of security in the country. She will be speaking on leadership and security, leadership and strategy. Thank you. Hello and welcome to Leading Perspectives. I am Chychy Chukwu. And today on Leading Perspectives, we are talking about women and governance. And this evening, my guest today is a strong, powerful woman, an erudite professor of language and communication arts. She's a princess, and she is the presidential aspirant on the PDP platform, political platform. 2019 presidential aspirant, Princess Professor Mercy Fumilayo Adesoya Davis, the PDP presidential aspirant for 2019 general elections. You're welcome on the show. Welcome to Leading Perspective. Tell us about your mandate.
Thank
We want to
you.
know about your mandate. The zeal, the passion, the compassion, the concern for Nigeria. Why? We want to know.
Thank you very much. As I've been introduced, my name is Mercy Fumi Adesoya Davis. I'm a Nigerian-made woman. I teach in Rivers State University of Education, and apart from that, at the inception of Nigerian Open University, I was one of the lecturers there. That means I've taught at Nigerian Open University for over 10 years too. I attended at least 3 universities in Nigeria. My first degree was at University of Ife. In my days at University of Ife, I was in 2 departments. I was in Department of English Language. I was in Department of African Studies. I took a master's 4 years later after my first degree. Immediately after youth service at University of Ilorin, I was in the Department of Modern European Languages, where I took a master's in English language. I later was in University of Port Harcourt, where I earned my PhD in Applied Linguistics and Communication. That made me a professional today in communication arts. With my educational background, we all agree with me that I'm just a Nigerian, a full Nigerian, a Nigerian-made woman who schooled in Western Nigeria, University of Ife, Northern Nigeria, University of Ilorin, and then South Nigeria, University of Port Harcourt. In addition to that, I'm always interacting with the women. I have program with the youths in the nation, and I'm always in the classroom with my students. And most times there is a question I ask myself, especially when I was the director of General Studies, Entrepreneurship and Skill Acquisition in my university. I'm exposed to see all my students, and I'm always wondering, what's the plan? What is the Nigerian plan for these teeming youths? Some years ago, when I left the university, and I was on youth service. Interestingly, I was also posted to a university as a lecturer during youth service. and I was to teach general English. That was also a very large class. My class has always been over or close to 1,000. I started with 800 students, close to 1,000 students, and in the past 30 years, facing over 1,000 students, my question have always been, these are the classes, theories, practical. What is Nigerians put in place for my students after now? It's time for a mother to go out there and find out what the men are putting in place for our youth, for our children. Not only for these ones that I keep saying in 30 years of my life, for their children and for the unborn generation. With my exposure, we will now know that I travel out. Yes, I'm in the US, I'm in UK, Canada, South Africa. I travel out everywhere, in and out, delivering conference papers. And each time I'm out of the country, I ask myself, what were my great-grandfathers? What were our fathers and our leaders doing? Why they were putting all these structures together in the developed countries? So my passion is that I look forward to a Nigeria where all things work as in developed countries and nations of the world. Again, a woman that has lived 30 years of her life in Port Harcourt. Yes, I know about the oil money. I know about how Nigeria runs this nation with 93, not less than 93% of resources coming from South Nigeria. I want to see the oil money as a woman who has suffered in South Nigeria, sweating it out for oil money to come out and be used. I want to feel it. I want to feel that oil money in every part of Nigeria. This is my passion. This is my vision. A Nigeria that is going to show us what God has bestowed on the nation by himself. I wake up in the morning and I see the sunshine in this nation, the type that I cannot get when I travel out. I've had to travel out of the country, changing my tickets 2-3 times. I'm just like, I'm going back to Africa. I can't wait to get to motherland, to have my sunshine back. A nation with sunshine, a nation with all the remaining vast land on planet Earth. Whenever we say, excuse me please, that in this world we have vast, massive land, it is in Africa. Not only in Africa, it is in Nigeria. Not only in Nigeria, it is in northern Nigeria, and I happen to be from northern Nigeria. I'm from the Middle Belt, I'm from the North Central, I'm from Kwara State. When I travel from Kwara State to Abuja, down to northern Nigeria, I see the vast, massive lands remaining on the planet Earth in my fatherland. I want to see how this can be harnessed to bring Nigeria to the next level. I've spoken about our land, our arable land that we need to do massive agriculture like as it is in the developed countries. I've spoken about oil. Do I need to talk about human resources? A great nation where you just have the population explosion. So you have the people, Nigerians, we have the people, we have the land, we have the oil, we have the brains. When I go for some of my conferences abroad, because of my name is Adesoya, the paper is ABCD. So I present my papers first. And when I do, everybody is like, oh, she's a Nigerian. I remember sometimes my first daughter came out with a result, finishing our A-levels, and it was best results in a school in UK in 5 years. And they said, she's a Nigerian girl. They just like that, just brilliant kids that immediately they have the privilege to show up off outside the shores of Nigeria, the talent comes out, the brain comes out. So we don't have any reason from running out of this very great nation that God has given unto us. It's time to fix Nigeria, and divinely, all of us have been given birth to by women. If you are not given birth to by a woman, can I see your hand up? Yeah, mothers are here, and they said, we've been bearing up and bearing up and bearing up, and now we're ready to be the help to mate. We are the neck that turns the head. And so it is time for a woman to go to Asarak. It is time for a woman to fix this Nigerian nation. And this is my mandate, the first female president of Nigeria. I'm here ready to serve the nation. Thank you.
Wow, that's very explosive. I must say, highly insightful. And you said something about in 100 days you can reposition the country, you can restructure the country, the society can feel the impact of governance and government. How do you go about that?
Yes, I keep saying it again and again, that if anybody needs to fix this country, it is an 100-day thing. You give me 100 days and check out what I've done for this nation, and if you are not satisfied, just the way Ellen Salif quietly left her seat after 4 years without any complications, no fighting, no wars. She just said, I've done my best, my tenure is over and I'm off. I will be ready to be off Nigerian seat after 100 days. In 100 days, we're going to have a restructured Nigeria. In 100 days, we're going to have policies in place that will make all of us to know that it's not business as usual. In 100 days, by the grace of God, we will have been able to fix a Nigeria economy with a coordinating minister, which is lacking now. You can be the president at old age and also be and also be the minister for petroleum. That's the only market we sell. In 100 days, we will have repositioned agriculture back in such a way that, as the technocrats did it during the last 4 years of PDP with Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, everybody, all the farmers in northern Nigeria, they will start receiving their alert steadily again. In 100 days, as a university professor, my students will be happy that education is now strategically fixed. In 100 days, by the grace of God, within 100 days, all our parents queuing for their pension, we will have tidied the process. You don't need to queue for pension. And I'm saying this because if, for instance, I have a case, I'm not trying to say that I'm all in all and I'm just going to, I will fix everything just now. What I'm trying to tell us is that Nigerians have the brain. If I have a case now, I don't need to go and read law. If I'm sick now, I don't need to start reading medicine. President Buhari knows just where to go when he was very sick. We already have the people in place to do this. We're just going to be putting our pegs, our square pegs on round holes. These are things we know how to do. We can. Our problem has just been the willpower. In 100 days, we will see the willpower of a woman who got pregnant in 9 months and a baby is fixed and is pushed out and the baby has nose and eyes. That's not the time after delivery to say, I don't know if the baby has legs or the baby has nose or the baby has mouth. A little baby is born and is ready to grow. In 100 days, a new Nigeria will be delivered. In 100 days, a new Nigeria will be delivered in policies, in structures, and it will now be time to grow it. Thank you, inshallah, by the grace of God.
I love the sound of that. That's such an assurance for me. And I see a light of hope for some of us that have been wallowing in some form of anguish looking at the state of the nation. But talking about the new Nigeria, you talk about the Nigerian project, the new Nigerian project. Can you, in just, a minute, tell us about the Nigerian project?
What are Nigerians asking for? Nigerians are very simple people. Nigerians are not asking anybody to give them billions of naira or build skyscrapers for them. See what my people are asking for. Just life basics. Nigerians want food. When you're talking about food, you're talking about all the carbohydrates and protein with their fruits and veggie. What else are Nigerians looking for? They're just looking for houses, shelter, decent accommodation. What are Nigerians looking for? They're just saying, can you give us water? Can you give us pipe-borne water? Can you give us clean water to drink? What are Nigerians looking for? Please give us road for us to carry out our private businesses and enterprises. Nigerians are asking for power. If the power works, the barber is working, the salonist is working. If the power works, the tailor is working, the ABBA person is producing. If power works, the students are studying. Nigerians are just asking for, I've mentioned 5 basic things now, that if this is all you give Nigerians, we just say Nigeria, agenda 1, power. Here is power. Nigerians, agriculture. Here is your food. Nigerians, no fatal accidents again. Your roads are fixed. Now it's high time we keep blowing big grammars. Let's simplify what my people are looking for. You fix all this in an agenda, and here is the new Nigeria we're all talking about. Just very simple. Like when we travel abroad, well, I'm going to London. What are you looking for in London? You're just going to breathe fresh air. We're saying clean the air for us. You're just going to give us light. The light is not blinking. You get into supermarkets and the places are clean. And then you do your shopping and everything is cheap. And then you eating and you're healthy. What are Nigerians looking for? Good health delivery services. Just these conventional things. Nigerians are impossible people. And I feel we already have the massive land, we have the brain, we have the human resources. We just need leadership that is not greedy. We need leadership that can face down corruption. We need leadership that will not consider tribalism. We need leadership that will bring down nepotism. We need leadership that will have respect for technocrats, have a little respect for the brains, allow the eye to see, allow the nose to breathe, allow the mouth to eat. There's no need telling the ears to see and the nose to eat. And then we can fix this nation. Just the willpower. And such a quality is what we will find in a woman. Thank you.
This is highly terrific. Pardon me, I'm getting mesmerized. Can we say that we have a secular country? Nigeria today, as it is today, can we actually say that Nigeria is a secular country?
Nigeria is a secular country. While in Dapchi recently, 105 girls were adopted, and we can't find up till now 1 Christian girls girl, while we had all the remaining 104 Muslim girls returned.
But it's in the
Why are we even picking up 105 girls? Just because some people call themselves Boko Haram and these are guys without wives and they just have drives to cool around some girls and went to a school and pick up girls with cloaks of religion and cloaks of political test and cloaks of I can't understand it. And this is one of the things we'll be facing in the new Nigeria. Religion will not play a strong part in the leadership of this nation, in the organization of this nation. Our parents didn't start with it. I'm from Kwara State. 50% Christians, 50% Muslims. We never disturbed ourselves. If you won't even believe some of the things we do when we're growing up as children in Kwara State. It's Christmas. All our cousins that are Muslims are in church with us. It's Muslim. It's a Salah. They bring all the meat for us. I was always eating the Salah meat. So what are we talking of today? That we are religionizing this nation. We're trying to Islamize the nation. It's not necessary. Nigeria will need to get back to being a secular state, a state in which you will be happy if you are still a traditionalist, doing half old great father's religion, if you are a Christian, following the tenets of faith of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob and our Lord Jesus Christ, if you choose to be a Muslim, following Muhammad, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, whoever you choose to follow, must not affect being a Nigerian first. I'm looking forward to a new Nigeria that is secular, like Baba Obasanjo said sometimes, that Nigeria is not even a secular nation in another sense, that we are a multi-religious nation. And if you look at the word secular as ungodly in that sense, we are not an ungodly nation. We are a nation that loves God so much that we have various types of religion, and everybody, and I mean everybody, should be entitled to their faith. But a nation where one religion is superimposing itself on another cannot be in Nigeria. This Nigeria where I was born, no. Growing up in the 60s, no. No. Nigeria must be a nation where everybody is allowed their practice of their own religion. Religion is a spiritual thing. It's about heaven. It's about getting out of here. So A cannot superimpose it on B, and B cannot superimpose it on C. And you can just say because you want power, you camouflage under religion, and then you're using religion for politics. That will have to stop in this nation by the grace of God, inshallah.
So we can say from all that's been happening currently in Nigeria, in the country, that there are some people that enjoy more privileges than the others.
Basically, so far, we all can say that Fulani herdsmen are now just killing, maiming, butchering, and killing people in what have been calling. We're not sleeping. The mothers are not sleeping. Do they even know what it means to go to the labor room? Do they know what it means to be pregnant for 9 months? Do they know what it means to just find children that mothers and fathers have been suffering to raise, and you just go, and when you are killing them, you also kill them, leaving the trace that I practice butchering, and so I'm just going to kill the way I kill cows. So they chop off the head and cut off the legs and cut off, and Nigeria has changed to a country where we now see blood shed Just like that, in a slaughtering, massive burying taking place in northern Nigeria. I'm proud to say I'm from northern Nigeria. I'm from the Middle Belt. I'm from North Central. I'm from Kwara State. Killings, slaughtering of Christians and even Sunni Muslims will need to stop in this nation by the grace of God.
Thank you very much, Professor.
It's my pleasure.
Next thing I want to ask you is, you see a new Nigeria where everything is working, basic things.
Basic
Electricity,
things. Basic
health
things.
sector, the education sector, the agricultural sector. How do you hope to reposition the country? Because we look at the state of the nation right now, everybody is wailing, people are crying out. How do you intend to reposition the country?
Yes, I think I
state?
also need to just start from the one that is most disturbing, which is the insecurity in northern Nigeria. It is high time we introduce to killers of people in northern Nigeria capital punishment. With me, there is going to be capital punishment.
But they're not even being arrested. They are not being
That is what I'm saying. No willpower, no punishment. So they keep doing it.
Do you think it is willpower, or do you think
Intentional?
Collusion.
Yeah.
Some people talked about collusion. We heard
It's
General
so
T.Y.
sad.
Danjuma talk about collusion.
Yeah, it's so sad that we cannot even separate our government from the killers. So who is going to be defending who? And that is why we need a change of government. We need to restore our confidence. Nigerians will need a government that they trust, that are not conniving with the killers, with the butchers. And then we need to resettle the innocent headsmen. There's some, we must just know that there are some people. When I was growing up, my grandfather used to have cows with Fulani headsmen. And then my mother ended up having some, my late mother. I was even planning one of these days, I'm going to ask, do we still have a few? Does my mother have a few calves somewhere that are now cows? Because these were the headsmen that we lived with. We were all happy. When did it change? How did we get here? So I want to assure Nigerians that there are some innocent herdsmen that are even keeping flocks of some of these cows that belongs to our big shots. They are very innocent. If you ask them, they're going to be pleading hunger. If you ask them, they will be pleading to insecurity. They're running away from the Boko Harams. If you ask some of them, they're going to be pleading homelessness. Some of those people killing people. I even saw some of the houses of the people the massively slaughtered in the Middle Belt. These houses are also butchers. You're killing me and I'm living a butcher. The poor is killing the poor. So we need to improve our economy. The oil economy that is supplying us all that we needed will have to fix a minister for petroleum. Once again, I'm going to be starting from where J.E.J. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan ended. At that pace, we need another Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, a coordinator of economy, a technocrat. We need to reposition ourselves back in which, where we're going to say Nigeria is having fastest growing economy in Africa. We need to allow our DGP to change again, to get back to the level in which it was before. We need to move economically from here. Now, we have really retrogressed in the past 3 years, and this is why this government will need to end and not enter with us 2019.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One more thing, Professor, Your Excellency, ma'am.
Thank you.
This clarion call, a clamor for gender equality, equal opportunities, perhaps you also heard that the Gender Equality Bill and Equal Opportunities Bill was thrown away at the National Assembly. Can you say that it's become a matter of urgency and it's actually become a clarion call that there should be equality, true equality, fairness, and equal opportunities?
Women in Nigeria have been clamoring for 30%, 35%, but I think what we should actually be asking for is a 50-50 thing.
Do you think that we should be asking for what is
It's our right, yes. It's not a privilege. It's our right. In fact, in God's creation, to every male child are 4 female children. So if we want to borrow a leaf from nature, if governance will work, then the ratio, the population of the female folks, of the women, should even be more than men. If when you bring women to governance, you've brought passion. When you bring women to passion, the kids, the children are cared for. When you empower a woman, you've empowered the youth.
That is Professor Fumilayo Mercy Adesoya Davis, presidential aspirant on the PDP political platform. I could call her an astute politician, even though she's a professor, but she's highly articulate, and you would agree with me that she has, in this short while, articulated the issues, the problems plaguing our country. And not only did she articulate these issues and problems and the ills in our society today, she has prepared solutions and ways and means to tackle these problems. I know that I ought to be unbiased, but pardon me that I cannot hide my bias, that I believe in the power of a woman, that I believe that a woman can actually cause the change that is needed and required in our country and in our society today, that I believe that a woman should be given the chance, the space, the room, the platform, and all the encouragement that is needed for this change in this time. Thank you very much for staying with us. This is Leading Perspective. And Prof, what do you have to say to the people? The people that you love so much and your heart pants after.
I want to say to Nigeria that this nation is going to work. And I believe in Nigeria of greatness. I believe in a new Nigeria. My name is PMA, Princess Mercy Adesoya Davis. Choice. It's PDP, Power to the People, and it's PMA choice. Time to change, the change by our choice. Join with me and say PMA choice, choice, choice.
All right, there you go, people. Thank you very much for staying with us, and join us again this time next week on Leading Perspective. Thank you. Hello, and thank you for staying with us on Leading Perspective. It has been an exciting moment, an animated conversation with the presidential aspirant on the PDP political platform, Professor Princess Mercy Fumilayo Adesoya Davis, sharing with you her vision, her mandate, her agenda, her New Nigeria project. Thank you for staying with us, and see you this time next week on Leading Perspective. Goodbye.